This morning, the nonprofit organization Sandy Hook Promise is unveiling its latest public service announcement, underscoring how important it is to take threats of gun violence seriously. It's titled Just Joking. The spot features a lineup of renowned comedians who deliver the sobering message that threats are not jokes. Here now, an exclusive first look.
So, first day of school, last day of your lives.
I want to kill people.
Bang, bang! You're dead.
I set the date. You are going to regret not talking to me. Oh, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but you will.
Hey, fair warning. Stay home tomorrow if you want to live.
Today's the day?
Today is the day.
The day my massacre begins.
Some of you guys are all right. Don't go to school tomorrow. I mean it.
After all the name calling,
I want to go down as the best school shooter in history.
Joining us now, the co-founder, CEO of the Sandy Hook Promise Foundation, Nicole Hockley. She lost her 6-year-old son, Dylan, in the Sandy Hook shooting in 2012. Nicole, it's nice to see you again. Tell us about that PSA and why people need to take these threats that sometimes people can dismiss as, oh, it's a kid popping off on social media, or he sent a text, he was probably just joking, don't worry about it. Why this is such an important message.
It's an important message for exactly the reasons you just said. A lot of times when we first launched the Say Something program, we teach kids how to recognize the warning signs, but we've often heard from them that they don't want to report something because they don't think it's serious. They say if they're putting it out there on social media, they don't really mean it, or they're just joking. And we want students and young people and the adults around them to understand that when you see a threat of violence, you have to take it seriously, because all of the threats that you just saw in that PSA were made by real school shooters. And there's a longer version of this PSA that attributes each of those quotes to the different shootings that took place. So you need to take these threats of violence seriously, because it's not a joke and it could have life-altering consequences.
Do you get the sense, I have 2 teenagers, so I'm sort of in this, that people have started to take, teachers, administration, but even kids now, I hear and see, are taking it more seriously, where 12 years ago before Sandy Hook, oh, come on. But now they go, wait a minute. If that turns into something deadly, I want to be the one to have stopped it.
Yeah, we know that young people really want to be upstanders. They don't want to just be passive bystanders. And when someone needs help, they want to reach in. And what we do with our programs is teach them how to unlock those tools and to do something. And we're seeing the tangible evidence that that works. We know from research that the programs show that when a child receives our programming, they are more likely to take action. And we also have the tangible evidence of the kids that have reported things to our anonymous reporting system that have already stopped 15 credible planned school shooting plots. And it's those kind of threats that you saw in that PSA that they're tipping in and saying, this person is going to do something and I need help now.
So, Nicole, how do you assess the progress made over the last decade or so since Sandy Hook on this issue? The burst of activism that surrounded Parkland, of course, the tragedy in Uvalde. As Willie just mentioned, the White House has started this new office to try to prevent gun violence. There was that bipartisan bill that was passed last year, modest, but still the first one in a long time. Where do you think we are, and how hopeful you are that more can come?
Well, each of these steps are a step towards a safer future. And I think we shouldn't ignore the cumulative effects of all of these changes. We're seeing great things happen in states. We're seeing things happen in the White House. And a movement has been really growing over the last 10 years. The way that grassroots supporters are giving their voice to this and saying, this is an issue I care about, this is an issue I'm going to vote on, and you need to do something. So the pressure is mounting and further action needs to be taking place.
So, I worked for, I was communications director when the shooting happened and when your son was killed. And President Obama has also said that that was the worst day of his presidency. But I know, a close second was when the Senate failed to pass legislation to deal. We thought we were going to be able to pass background checks in the Senate after the shooting. And he and Vice President Biden had to walk into the Roosevelt Room where you were and other parents to say, no, the Senate's not going to do anything. Nothing's going to happen. But you and then Mark Barden, who I know is another friend of ours who lost his son Daniel, who's you told me his 18th birthday is today, started this, really gotten a lot done. And like what is so impressive is it's scientific, right? You understand now you need to address that jokes are a threat. What kind of resources do you all have available for people as part of Sandy Hook's Promise that will help even outside of government action?
Sure. Well, there's a lot of resources on our website that really show what the warning signs are. So it's great for having a conversation, a parent to have a conversation with their child about these are the things that you should be looking for. If someone is saying these things, if someone's posting these things, or these are things you hear, say something to me or another trusted adult. It's also amazing resources for schools. We've had our programs in over 26,000 schools across the country so far, reaching over 21 million youth and adults. And that's how you have an impact, is teaching people how do you recognize the signs and then how do you take action. And then we support that with all of the policy work as well.
We stand in awe of you when we watch you. Every time you join us, that you've turned your unimaginable grief into this activism over the last decade. And I think it's important to point out, because there is sometimes a sense of futility about this in this country. Well, we're awash in guns. People are going to die. They're going to get shot. There are more guns than people. There's only so much we can do. But there has been a ton of progress made. It's important to underline that in the last decade. How do you wake up every morning and say, this is a fight worth having? We can do better.
It's a fight worth having because people are still dying. And sadly, the amount of gun violence in our country and school shootings is still increasing. And I simply don't want to continue to meet parents who have lost their children in shootings. So this is something that I'm going to continue to do for Dylan, for my surviving son, Jake, and for all children.
So, Joe, Nicole and I were just talking as she sat down. Just this month, the class, that first grade class at Sandy Hook, are seniors. This is their last year of high school. And so many kids like Dylan were denied the opportunity to have all these birthdays, but their senior year in high school.
And like Nicole said, this continues every day. It happens every day to more students, to more children, to more grandmoms, to so many other people. You know, Nicole, I wanted to underline what Willie said. We actually have seen legislative progress over the past decade, even as we were all shocked after Sandy Hook by the political inaction. So we are moving in the right direction legislatively over time, and I think with attitudes over time. But as you said, people are still dying. I saw a statistic not so long ago that showed that the number of killings by guns have actually gone up by, I think, 50% in the decade since Sandy Hook.
Yeah, it's shocking. I think at the moment in the U.S., we're having on average 2 mass shootings every single day. And we've already had around 230 school shootings this year. These are horrible numbers, and behind each of those numbers are families and communities that are suffering and will suffer trauma for the rest of their lives. We are making progress. It's slow progress, but we are continuing to push forward, and we will continue to push forward until this is not the epidemic that we have anymore.
And Nicole, if people want to get information about some of the resources you all provide, what's the best place for them to find it?
Simply go to our website, sandyhookpromise.org. You can learn about the signs. You can learn how to bring the programs to your school. You can learn how to have conversations with your children or with your friends. It's important that everyone gets involved because we all have a job to do when it comes to taking warning signs seriously.
Co-founder of the Sandy Hook Promise Foundation, Nicole Hockley, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you for your continuing courage.
Thank you.
As I said, we are in awe of you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.